Good morning, my beautiful friends. It's 7:30 in the morning. It's Monday. I've been up since about 6:30. I seem to fare better in the mornings, and then by afternoon I am worn out and have to take a break. So trying to give this old body time to get healed up here from whatever I've had. So today is not really a recipe. It's like what we're having for dinner. So I wanted to show you what we're having for dinner, give you some ideas, suggestions, and maybe this is a meal that you would like to cook. So I'm gonna listen. Y'all know how much I love her. I'm gonna use her today. That way I can get some other things done and not worry about what's going on in here. So I've been hungry for some, I call them country ribs. The packaging say Western ribs, but it's just a boneless pork, well, mostly bone. There might be a teeny tiny bone in there, but it's a rib cut like this. I'm just gonna salt and pepper it. And then I'll flip it over. And then I'll salt and pepper the other side. I'm gonna do 2 packs because once these cook down, there's not a whole lot there. Just gonna do this other pack here. You know, I've told you before, I really love pork. Everybody else in the house is not a big pork fan. I sneak it in where I can. Okay, so look at this. We got some great fat on that back side. Put that in. Pepper, salt. Now, one thing that so I'm going to barbecue these later, so that's all I'm going to do is salt and pepper right now. Because once they get to a tender stage, I don't want them falling apart. I want them soft, but I'm going to cook them to where I like them, and I'll keep checking them throughout the day, and once they're done, I'll take them out and barbecue them, and I'll show you that step later. So for right now, we're just going to salt and pepper them. Now, I don't know if it's just me, and if it's an Appalachian thing or a country thing, or what, but I love potatoes cooked in pork broth. To me, it's just so delicious. I can't really taste a whole lot yet, but it's just something soothing about the thought of that potato in that pork broth. So I've got 8 peeled and washed potatoes here. I usually do 2, when I do a potato like this, I usually do 2 potatoes per person. Now, Mason probably won't eat potatoes, but we'll have leftovers. So I like to, when I put them in the slow cooker like this, just cut them in half. Leave them chunky, like me. That way they don't cook away, they don't get too mushy. And I will also check those, and when they get to a consistency that I like, I'll go ahead and remove them. So I'm just gonna put these right in with the ribs. Just cut these right in half. Sorry, I'm still a little nasal. I know it's annoying. Okay, go, we got our potatoes in there. I'm just gonna throw that away. I just got some water. I'm just gonna pour right over. This will help keep those ribs from sticking and also create a little bit more juice. Now I've got all those potatoes on top, so I'm gonna hit them with some salt. I'm gonna hit them with some pepper. And that's it for now. I'm gonna put this on the base. Put that on there right now. Lid on, set at number 5. I can push it back and I can just leave it go. I'm doing some catching up on some laundry. We needed some towels washed, some things. So I'm gonna do that while that's cooking. I did manage yesterday. I didn't manage a whole lot yesterday. I did do some laundry yesterday, and Maddie wanted some zucchini bread, so I did make her some zucchini bread. Look at that. They say it's delicious. Stuff has to be really super strong right now for me to be able to taste it. They said it was delicious. If you want the zucchini recipe, there's a video on that. Our customer Ralph gave us a huge crop of zucchini, and he's had an abundance of it. His zucchini has really flourished this year, so he gifted us some zucchini, and I made that. And then yesterday for breakfast, I had some zucchini for breakfast. So anyway, there we go. That's the start. So probably more than likely, I'm either going to cook greens or green beans. I keep flip-flopping which one sounds better to me today. So part of our meal is already done in the slow cooker. It's 7:30 in the morning. By the time dinner time rolls around, we should be good to go. And I can lounge if I need to today, and I don't have to worry about it. All right, friends, I'm gonna go for now. And once this comes once this gets all cooked and comes together, I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. So this morning, if you remember, I said I'm not really doing a recipe, I'm doing what we're having for dinner. So all the details are ironed out. You can probably hear Lola snoring. She's really on one this morning, or this afternoon, I guess it is now. She's snoring away, so my apologies. So anyway, the ribs are out of the slow cooker. They're tender. I took the potatoes out earlier and put those in the fridge. Here they are. And what I'm gonna do with those, I'll tell you in just a minute. So I've got my ribs on a baking sheet here with some foil. Now remember I told you I just salt and peppered those earlier when I put them in the slow cooker. So now I'm gonna come in with an SPG. Listen, I'm about out. I've got another bottle. I'm gonna have to dig it out, my pantry. SPG on those. And then I'm gonna come in with just a little bit of onion powder. Okay. And then I've got this, it's called barbecue seasoning, and that's literally what it's called. So someone asked me in one of my other videos about the chicken seasoning. I have a chicken seasoning and a steak seasoning. And we have a little store here called Save a Lot. And it literally is in the spice section, and it says chicken seasoning. I'm not really sure what's all in it. I've never really looked, but it's really good. So it just says chicken seasoning, so that's what I label it. And this is the same with this. It just says barbecue seasoning. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on underneath. Let that get soaked into the meat. Way! Just that. I'm smelling like little bits of stuff. Oh, my spices smell good. So, Sweet Baby Rave's is my favorite. Use whatever favorite barbecue you have. And I'm just going to barbecue the tops of these. You don't really have to, watch this process. Just get them good and sauced. I'll stop making that sound and I'll finish these off camera. So I'm going to sauce those, take a spoon, get them all nice and covered. What I'm going to do, once I do that, I'm going to put those in the oven right before dinner. Now the potatoes are fully cooked, so I'm going to turn my slow cooker down. Here it is. I've had it turned down to about 2. That's a little warm. As you can see in there, well maybe not, I've got some good, delicious pork broth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that pork broth and I'm going to cook it in with my greens. We decided on, here's the menu, I guess I should have said that. The barbecue ribs, the boiled potatoes, greens, cornbread, which y'all know I'm not feeling good still. So I just did a quick Jiffy cornbread. I'm going to do my greens in a little bit, and I'm going to take that delicious pork broth and I'm going to pour a little bit of that in with my greens when I cook those down. And I'll come back and show you what else I'm going to add to my greens. We love greens here. So anyway, I'm going to finish barbecuing these. Oh, the potatoes. I get sidetracked, don't I? I'm going to take, once I pour off my broth for my greens, I'm going to put these back in that delicious pork broth and let them hang out in that hot tub till dinner time. Just enough to cover them, turn the heat down low. I don't want them to cook any longer. I just want them to absorb that delicious pork broth. Do you have to do that? No. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to finish barbecuing the rest of these so you don't have to hear that squirting sound. I'm going to drain off my pork broth for my greens and put my taters back in my slow cooker. I'll be back. That's what we're having for dinner. Oh, listen, I also forgot. I'm making strawberry shortcake. Found some strawberries in my fridge. I cut those up and I texted Maddie when she went to the store to grab some shortcake. She didn't get the message in time. So I whipped up just a little cake, a simple 1-pan cake. That recipe will post later. So that's what we're having for dinner. All right, so I'm coming back with that series of what we're having for dinner. And we'll show you how I'm going to do my greens really quickly today. I usually make them different each time to go with whatever we're having. So today we're having that delicious pork ribs I cooked in the slow cooker. And I told you I was going to save some of that pork broth. And right there it is. Ladled it out. Got some of those delicious pork bits in there and a few little potatoes still at the bottom of the pan. So I'm just going to add my greens in. These are my favorite. They're the Glory brand. They're the seasoned collard greens. They have turnip and they have mixed, but the collard greens are our favorite. Let me get the, sorry, I forgot my spoon here. Might have, should have, could have got a bigger pan. That's all right. I got what I'm going to work with here. Okay, so we got those in. I'm going to mix that in with that pork broth. We're going to let these cook down. Oh, they're going to be so good. Okay, so I thought I had another spoon. Oh, Krista, I'm not with it, y'all. I still think I have sickness brain, whatever I had. Okay, so to that I'm going to add a pinch of salt, sea salt, coarse sea salt. I like apple cider vinegar to mine. Just a pinch. That acidity just really goes good with those greens. Just about a tablespoon. That's all you're going to need. Got a couple tablespoons of this. It's butter. Just a couple tablespoons. I'm going to squeeze it right out there. Those. And a little bit, I have to get another, of the liquid gold. A little bit of bacon grease. This right here. Right here's the good stuff. Just a tad. Look, you don't need much. Just a little bit for flavoring. All right, that's it for the greens. I'm gonna let those cook down. And let all that great pork flavor get in there. Mingle with those greens. Ooh, I'm gonna put them on the slow. Listen, y'all, maybe I shouldn't be with you today. I think I'm a little crazy still. I'm gonna put them on the stove and cook them slow. Maybe I need a shot of this apple cider vinegar. Might do me some good. I don't know how y'all drink it. I know some of you drink it. Can't do it. Power to you, brothers and sisters. Can't do it. All right, I'm gonna put this on the stove, and I'll come back and show you what's all else is happening here in Chris's Country Kitchen. And I have brain frog. I have brain frog. Listen, y'all, I'm a mess. A leopard pepper, or red pepper flakes, or black pepper, or white pepper. Add some pepper to your greens too. All right, friends, here it is. Meal is complete. As you know, this morning we put these ribs on with the potatoes. So here we go, those country ribs. I finished off in the oven. They're super tender. They're just falling apart. Had those and with that barbecue and that seasoning. Finished those off in the toaster oven. And here are those great potatoes that I cooked in the pork broth and then put back in there and let them soak up that wonderful juice. Look at those. And then here we have these wonderful greens I showed you that I also cooked in the pork broth. That pork broth did double duty today. Here they are. They smell so wonderful. I can actually smell these. My body, I think, is really craving some good veg. So there we go. I'm going to do another dip of those greens. And there you go. And of course, cornbread. Got to have cornbread and my greens and my green beans. That all started when I was young in Wurtland, Kentucky, in my mama's kitchen. Always had to have that cornbread with my greens. Let's give everything a taste. It's hot. Like I said, I love potatoes cooked in pork broth, and then these greens. Those are going to heal me. Those are going to heal me. And then this wonderful, delicious country ribs, western ribs they call them. I call them country ribs. Listen, friends, all this pairs great together. Delicious. I'm going to feed the rest of the family. I debated about posting this because I've been all over the place today. But this is real life. This is me in my kitchen. Even when I don't feel well, this is what you can do. Now, listen, if you like this kind of situation I got going on where I show you a whole meal once in a while, just let me know what you think. There you go. All right, if you're new here too, like and subscribe, hang out. I'm usually not this loony. I'm recovering from not feeling so great. So anyway, thanks, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a good day.